Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are on the way to 11,200 subscribers. And if you could all click the like button, I would be incredibly grateful. It's a Wednesday. We're over halfway through the week and there is genuinely some proper transfer news. It's beginning to heat up. We're going to be talking about Calafiori, who really is the first player that we've, outside of Benjamin Sesko, been strongly linked to, and those links throughout the day have got hotter and hotter. Obviously, we spoke about him yesterday, and I feel like things are moving quite quickly, the way that many journalists are speaking about it. There's loads of you here. There's also a lot of other stuff outside of Calafiori to talk about, but it is good to see lots of you. Pekka, Vivi Vlad, Jakub, Carter, Cringe, Tom, Anu Brata, Saka the Goat, Smort, Jack Sachs, Ethan Udall, Tom McFadden, Oslo, Guna, Sportcat, Adam, Simon, Ross Lawman, Hannah, Smithy. Why is this twonk always late? I don't think I was even late. I don't think I was even late. So more for you. More for you, Smithy. Good evening. Been gone for a while on a lads holiday. Good to be back. Lads. You'll have to see it. I hope you enjoyed it. I do hope you enjoyed it. But look, let's crack into Calafiori. Fabrizio Romano has been leading the way on this. And look, in some ways, Fabrizio leading the way slightly unnerves me, especially because Chelsea are involved and just because, you know, when Fabrizio's too involved with a transfer, it can just get a bit frustrating. I'd love Calafiori. This is a Chelsea fan, by the way. I'd love Calafiori purely because he's brilliant, but also for the banter. But honestly, can't blame him for joining Arsenal over us with the state of the two clubs right now. Yeah, we will be talking about that and why I think Arsenal are in the best position to get him compared to Chelsea. But look, so Fabrizio said Juventus, and this was a big thing, right? A lot of people were concerned. Look, getting Italian players out of Italy is difficult, right? It very rarely happens that you get an Italian to leave Italy because more often than not, they will just go to Juventus, AC Milan. You know, they'll go to the top Italian clubs. However, according to Fabrizio Romano, Juventus are not in talks to sign Riccardo Calafiori, and the deal is currently off, following Bologna's decision not to sell to their rivals. Calafiori's agent, Alessandro Lucci, is now working on the best solution for the player. Riccardo Calafiori is one of three defenders on Arsenal's list of targets, and Mikel Arteta has already approved a potential deal. Bologna, who want around 50 million euros for Calafiori, have a good relationship with Arsenal after the Takahiro Tomiyasu deal in 2021. Arsenal and Chelsea are the only two clubs in talks with Riccardo Calafiori right now. Arsenal are really attacking the situation and have presented a long-term proposal to the player. Calafiori is open to joining Arsenal if a fee can be agreed with Bologna. So that was all coming from Fabrizio. And that is progress. Arsenal have spoken to Calafiori himself. We're presumably in conversations with Bologna. Calafiori is happy to make the move. And crucially, we're not competing with another Italian team. We're only competing as it stands with Chelsea. And look, sure, Chelsea could throw more money at it than us. Maybe they could. But outside of that, it's Champions League versus Conference League. It is, you know, a young team that's on a clear upwards trajectory with a manager who his players rave about versus a club that's starting another reset with another new manager with Chelsea's ownership being just absolutely sporadic. It's a no-brainer. I would have thought, personally. I would have thought it's a no-brainer. What will happen with Timber, though, if you get Calafiori? We'll speak about this. I'm going to go through, like, what all of the journalists have been saying, and then we'll actually kind of discuss where Calafiori fits in, if he fits in. How much do we actually need him? We'll speak about that. So Di Marzio, who is obviously... Look, Di Marzio got a lot of stick last summer because he got Declan Rice completely wrong. He was the one that was really pushing the Declan Rice was going to go to Man City and Declan Rice was close to Man City and this, that, and the other. So his name's in the mud. But Arsenal are in pole position to sign Riccardo Calafiori and are getting closer and closer to a deal. PSG, Chelsea, and Bayer Leverkusen have all got in touch regarding Calafiori, but Arsenal have presented a more intriguing project and offer for the player and Bologna. And then the final thing, Romeo Agresti, who apparently is like tier 1 source specifically for Juventus, said unless there are any dramatic late turns, Calafiori will not reach Juventus. With a price tag of 45 to 50 million euros, Juventus are simply not in the running. And so there you go. If it's us versus Chelsea, there's no Italian club involved, I am confident. Gareth, good to see you. My favorite Walking Dead Twitch streamer. Well, tonight on Twitch, we're going crazy. Tonight on Twitch, we will be playing Minecraft. You've heard it, Minecraft. I've never played it before. We're playing a hardcore world, whatever that means, and it's going to go crazy. So link is down in the description if you want to come and join that. We'll be live from about 10:15. So that's it in terms of all of the news around Calafiori. Now, do we need him? This is the question, right? Do we really need Calafiori? No. That's the simple answer has to be no. We don't need Calafiori because last season we had the best defense in the Premier League and we did that without Yuri and Timber. And we've got Yuri and Timber coming back. We still have all of those defenders. So on that basis, you could very easily make the argument we don't need Calafiori. But Man City don't need a lot of the players that they buy. But it's about raising the level of your squad. And I think Calafiori is better than Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and Jakub Kiwior. And if he's the closest one potentially is Jakub Kiwior. Jesus, nearly died. Is Jakub Kiwior. And if he's not better than Kiwior now, I think he will grow to be. So it's about squad depth. Now, the second question is, okay, so you don't need Calafiori, but we're going for him. And it was clear, seemingly from the start of the window, we wanted a left-sided defender, right? A left-footed, left-sided defender. Calafiori actually, before Bologna and Italy, was playing at left-back. For Basel, he was playing at left-back. And Basel, by the way, have a 45% sell-on clause, I think. Like, nearly half of the money, if and when we buy Calafiori, nearly half of that money is actually going to go to Basel. And at Basel, he was playing at left back. And at times, he even played at left midfield. So I think he could be coming in as the left back. I think I've always felt it's slightly unbalanced when we have a right footer at left back. Look, Tomiyasu has done fine there. Yuri and Timber looked great there. But I always think it's better to have a left footer. And I think it will benefit Gabriel Martinelli massively to have a left footer. So then at that point, you're down to Kiwior, Calafiori, Zinchenko. Kiwior's being linked away. Zinchenko's just not the guy. And we know that Arteta doesn't trust Zinchenko in big games especially. So I think Calafiori may well end up starting. And I wouldn't be against it at all. I wouldn't be against it whatsoever. Now, do we sell Kiwior then? I think we probably do. There was an Italian newspaper this morning that was actually claiming that Arsenal have made a bid for Calafiori. They were claiming that we had bid 47 million euros for Calafiori. But in that, they said that Thiago Motta, and we've heard this previously, Thiago Motta, who's the new Juventus manager, really wants Jakub Kiwior because he can't get Calafiori. So it kind of makes sense. Juventus wanted Calafiori. They can't get him. Their second choice to that is Kiwior. We get Calafiori. Kiwior goes to Juventus. I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, is that harsh on Kiwior? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's harsh on Kiwior. I think Kiwior did decent last season. You know, he was really impressive when he came in. He did a very good job. But I wouldn't really say he's not in that bracket of being irreplaceable. That's for sure. Calafiori's only just turned 22. He's already an Italian international and was one of the standout players for Italy. I think he offers more. I think he's a better ball carrier. And so I can see him starting. I can see the back four being, and bear in mind, like with Tomiyasu, I always just caveat Tomiyasu with the injury issues. So I see it being Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. And by the way, that back four is unbelievable. You then have Yuri and Timber, who at that point can cover at left back, can cover at right back, and I think could play in midfield. And I think that might be something that we end up seeing. Depending on who we bring into the midfield, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Timber Rice midfield at points next season. But the point is, it's a long season. There's lots of games. I made that video before talking about the fixture congestion. From the end of from the end of the international break in September until the end of January, we are playing twice a week. Every single week, assuming that we get to like the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. If we get to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, we are basically playing twice a week, every single week for 4 months. I don't think people realize the depth of the squad that we need. And so if I'm here saying, okay, Yuri, like, and it's literally just as an example, Yuri and Timber isn't in that back four because it's White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. Timber can still play pretty much every game at that point because he can rotate in for White, he can rotate in for Calafiori. You know, like they are proper rotational options. And so I think it makes sense. Now, is it the most important signing for us to make this summer? No. I still think a winger is more important. I still think a midfielder is more important. You could even say a striker is more important. But just because we're doing that signing first doesn't mean it's the number one priority. In the same way that when we signed Kai Havertz first last summer, it didn't mean it was a bigger priority than Declan Rice. That's just how things go. Calafiori is now out of the Euros. We can crack on with the deal. We're into July. And so I like it. I like it. I don't think Calafiori will be on serious wages either. I think, this is crazy, by the way. I believe, as it stands, Calafiori is currently earning £14,000 a week at Bologna. £14,000 a week. That is, I mean, that is insane. We could 10x how much he's on, and he'd only be on 140 grand a week. So, you know, even though the package itself, in terms of 50 million euros, that may be expensive-ish. I mean, the potential of the guy is crazy. How does he survive on those wages? Yeah, I know. He must feel like an absolute pauper. He must feel like a pauper compared to the rest of them. Is he quick though? I mean, relatively, it's one of those. He's just, you know, he's a centre back that's 6'2". When he gets up to speed, he's very quick. Do you know what though? He's very quick at carrying the ball. So certain players, like the difference between them just sprinting and them sprinting with the ball is very different. Calafiori is very quick with the ball, which is impressive. How much pace has he got on FIFA? Sensational question. Really, these are the hard-hitting questions. How much pace does he have on FIFA? Well, if we go with his team of the season card, his team of the season card has 88 pace. So that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. But no, look, I think if we bring him in, and I've said this previously, right? I think there's effectively room in the squad for 6 defenders because you have 2 on the bench, and I don't think any of our defenders would be willing to not be in the squad. So you've got, potentially, by the end of this window, your 6 defenders being White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Timber, Tomiyasu. I then look at maybe a 7th one being like a Ferdi Kadioglu, which is almost more of a wing-back / winger / fullback. It's a very, very different profile. The other 6 are basically all centre-backs, right? So you maybe bring in someone like Kadioglu, who's right-footed, but has spent most of his time playing at left-back. He's pacey, brilliant at dribbling with the ball. As a right-footer, could play at right-back. Like, I could see that happening as well. Does this mean Kadioglu's off? Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it means Kadioglu's off because I could see that being the extra kind of player in the squad that offers both, if that makes sense. I think the best thing for Arsenal next season is we can have different defenders for different reasons, i.e. Tommy against big threats on the right wing, like Salah, Bernardo, etc. Yeah. Yeah. Although, I think Calafiori, we can go and look at Calafiori again, but in terms of winning tackles and stuff, Calafiori ain't bad. We've done this before. Prepare yourselves for absolute greenery. Prepare yourselves for absolute greenery. This is Snoop Dogg. This is Snoop Dogg on a Plymouth Argyle fan bus. Look at it. Marvel in the greenery. But yeah, in terms of duels, tackles won, I'd be happy to have him defending up against a top right winger as well. We can play Timber when we play United. Ben can't hack Rashi. Possibly. But this is the point, right? This is the point. Different players for different scenarios and players that you would just be happy starting any game. At that point, there is no combination from that 6 defenders that I would go into any game and be worried about. And I think that's the part to get to. I think that is the key thing to get to. Conceded 2 penalties, cancel the deal. I did actually notice that, yeah. He did concede 2 penalties. So maybe that's something that we've got to we've got to wean out of him. Do you see us signing Bakayoko? Nah, apparently we haven't really gone in for Bakayoko at all, even though there were some links there. Apparently from Bakayoko's camp, they've got no idea where those links came from or why. So Bologna not wanting to sell to Juve as their rivals. The drop-off from Juve is crazy, and I love to see it. Yeah. And I rate that, by the way. I absolutely rate that from Bologna, being like, are we fuck selling to Juve? People have been talking about his injury history. He does seem to pick up more knocks than normal. He played... How many... Does it say how many games? Oh, it's fucking Euros. Oh, piss off. I'm pretty sure he played like 30 games last season. I'm pretty sure he played like 30... I'll have a look now. I'll have a look at what his injury history is. But I think he played like 30 games in Serie A last season, which is all right. Let's have a go. Let's have a look. Injury history. Yeah, to be fair, he does actually. Actually, yeah, I hadn't seen this before. So since 1920, he's picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different injuries in 4 years is interesting. But, so he had a ligament injury in 18-19. That kept him out for ages. Since then, he's never really missed more than 42 days from an injury. Like, a lot of them are like a knock, missed 2 games. Unknown injury, missed 1 game. Unknown injury, missed 2 games. Unknown injury, missed 2 games. He had hamstring issues throughout 2021. Yeah. Maybe that is something to slightly look out for. Maybe that is something to slightly look out for. That is quite a lot of injuries over that period of time. Saying that, he's only missed 2 games for Bologna. So, if you look at last season and last season, he missed 2 games through injury. And that was literally an injury that only lasted for 3 days, which was a knock. But the season before that, he did have 4 different injuries. So, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. We're filling the squads with quality, not quantity. The likes of Zinni, Kivior, Jesus, Nelson, Eddie, Partey, ESR aren't challenging our main 11 players, so it's better to move them on and reinvest. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. I think it's I do think it's a mentality thing. I think as a fan base, we have to get out of this mentality of players being good enough to be squad players. Like, if you can mention a player and you're like, they are 100% not a starter, I think that's a problem. I think as soon as you've got players that are 100% not starting, then you've got an issue, because it means that the person that is starting is under no pressure whatsoever. It's got to be Sane or Kimmich. Well, someone mentioned today an interesting one, which is Schlotterbeck. Because we have been linked to Schlotterbeck previously. We were linked to him in 2022. We were linked to him again last December. And we know Arteta likes going for players time and time again. He doesn't like taking no for an answer. So, but that could be, Schlotterbeck could be an alternative to Calafiori. Like, I couldn't see us doing Schlotterbeck and Calafiori. That would make no sense. So, we'll see. Keep Kivior. He can stay fit, since most of the left side defenders, other than Big Gabby, are made of glass. Also much better potential than Tommy, so can bring him more profit in the future. Please let him stay. I would not be against that at all, Smart. In fact, if I was completely honest, 50 more likes. If you can hit the like button right now, as I'm talking about this, I'd be incredibly grateful. God, hit the like button. 100 likes. That's all we're asking for. That's less than half of you clicking the like button. Come on, you big frauds. No, that was harsh. Shouldn't have said that. No. What was I saying? Yeah, keep Kivior. I would keep Kivior over Tomiyasu. But Kivior is more in demand from other clubs. AC Milan are interested in Kivior. Juventus are interested in Kivior. So in terms of selling him, it's probably quite a lot easier to sell Kivior than it is to sell Tomiyasu. But no, I actually agree with you. I would sell Zinchenko and I would sell Tomiyasu because they're so injury prone as well. Like people were replying to me on Twitter today, right? Because I said I could see Timber potentially being in midfield next season. So I said I could see, and then people were like, "Well, no, we need all of these. We need all of these defenders anyway." And I was like, "Well, we don't have room for all of them." And then people are like, "Yeah, but Zinchenko and Tomiyasu are massively injury prone, so we need the other defenders as well." It's like, no, the fact that you can't rely on those two to be in the squad because they're so injury prone, to me, means you move them on. Like, it's Andrick. Have you got any? Have you got any like information to back that up, or is that just a guess? Selling Kivior for 25 mil or Tommy and Zinchenko for 15 million each? I'd prefer that 100%. Yeah, me too. Probably me too. I think if you can upgrade to Calafiori for like net 20 million, happy days. Simple. We have Gabby doing the bike to midfield, not optimal. Cala does that better and no angle bias, and can do the stationary classic left back role natural, which is the position he is playing. Let go, Kibby. Yeah. I don't know what you mean in terms of Gabby, though. I don't know what you mean in terms of Gabby there. But do you think Zinni can do a midfield job? No. Zinchenko can do a midfield job, but not for Arteta. I think we'd have already seen Zinchenko deployed in midfield if we were going to do that. I think the amount of physical work that midfielders have to do in Arsenal's team, I just don't think he can do it. Which is why I think he ends up going. Not going for Bakayoko. Has Edu seen the greenery on FOTMob? Clearly, Edu has not seen the greenery on FOTMob. So that is his issue. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I really do not rate Kivior. Oh, that probably is quite an unpopular opinion. I think this season, look, he had an off game against Bayern, right? Outside of that Bayern game, which, by the way, how many left backs, makeshift left backs, really, would be dealing with Sane? Not many. But that said, he's definitely upgradable. So I think that's what we're trying to do. Anyway, some other news today. That is it for Calafiori. Obviously, I will keep you updated. Well, by the way, we've not had anything from Ornstein. Ornstein has been silent so far. So we are awaiting an Ornstein bomber. Anyway, other news. Fabrizio, another one from Fabrizio. Arsenal have made an improved contract offer to Chido Obi Martin in an attempt to keep him at the club, while Mikel Arteta is also pushing for him to stay. However, no agreement has been reached yet. The player is still exploring his options. The deadline for that is the 8th. The deadline, so that's what, 5 days' time. The deadline for Chido Obi Martin to decide what he's doing is in 5 days. We've made another increased contract offer. Arteta has spoken to him directly about, the path that he has at Arsenal. If all of that is not enough, then fair enough, goodbye. Like, if we've made him we've made like 3 improved contract offers. Arteta, the first team manager, is sitting you down at 16 years old and saying, this is the plan for you. If you still don't want to stay, au revoir, my friend. Goodbye. Good luck. That is all I would say. So we'll wait and see. Last time Ornstein was this silent. In the end, some Ukrainian went to Chelsea instead. Don't do that. Let us dream. Let us dream. No, that's fair enough, John. That's fair enough. That is fair. I do think the overlapping issue was a problem all of last season. Martinelli never had a defender overlapping him, and I really do think that massively hampered him. Think about the amount of times the opportunities open up for Saka because of a run that Ben White makes. Even if White doesn't receive the ball, it opens up so many opportunities. We never had an overlapping fullback last season for Martinelli. Did you see England's plan for a formation change? I did, yeah. 3 back or 5 back. It'll just be. The thing is, he'll move to Southgate will move to a 5 at the back, and then he'll keep Trippier at left wing back or something like that. Like, he just won't get it right. Who's winning the Euros? I think Germany. Germany on home soil. I think they're going to get it done. It's also that the left 8 would never overlap Martinelli. Xhaka used to do it intelligently. Well, Xhaka used to overlap, but actually the big one that Xhaka used to do was the underlap. So Martinelli would be stood. To be fair, Martinelli also didn't have as many opportunities to actually stand a defender at 1v1. But Xhaka would make that run on the inside, kind of into where the edge of the box was, like the left edge of the box. And again, that was useful for Martinelli. But Declan Rice did it a few times this season, but nowhere near in the way that Granit Xhaka used to do it. So, yeah, I think that made it tough for Martinelli this season. Graham Bailey. This is a sad one. This is a sad one if it's true. Graham Bailey saying that Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, and Man United have all engaged with Xavi Simons' entourage to confirm their interest in him. However, Xavi Simons has told all of those English clubs he will not be coming to the Premier League this summer. So Xavi Simons does not want to move to the Premier League. In my opinion, that makes him a little bit of a bitch. It's the Premier League, pal. What do you mean? What do you mean? You want to stay at PSG in Ligue 1 instead of coming to the greatest league in the world? I don't know if I want someone with that mentality. Honestly. Because at that point, that's not just he doesn't want to go to a specific Premier League club. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United have all registered their interest, and he said no to all of them. So that's a mentality issue. And then this coming from Relevo, which is like a Spanish outlet. Arsenal are ready to jump in for Espanyol's goalkeeper Joan Garcia. Espanyol will not accept anything less than his £21 million release clause. Iñaki Caña, who is our goalkeeper coach, the one that really wanted David Raya, knows him very well from his time in Catalonia. So that's the one on. One thing I would say, Iñaki Caña does seem very Spanish orientated in terms of he desperately wanted to bring in David Raya to replace Ramsdale, and now he wants to bring in another Spaniard as our backup. It does seem quite heavily. It's like when Ten Hag just wants Dutch players. But look, to be fair, from what we saw, it doesn't look like he's a bad second-choice goalkeeper option anyway. It looks like our window is going to be Calafiori, Kimmich, Gyökeres, and Bakayoko. Oh, well, that'll have to do. If we did Calafiori, Kimmich, one of the wingers that we've spoken about, and Gyökeres, I mean, that would be an outrageous summer window. That would be an outrageous summer window. Devin, thank you very, very much for being a member for 3 months. Not many people are members for 3 months. So, Devin, you're a legend. Start, bench, sell, lasagna, chicken Alfredo, spaghetti bolognese. Wow. We're starting bolognese. A solid bolognese. A solid bolognese. We're starting it. Do you know what? I'm benching Alfredo. I'm benching Alfredo and I'm selling lasagna. Overrated, in my opinion. Lasagna's overrated. Get it gone. We'll sell it. We'll start bolognese. We'll bench Alfredo. And the lasagna's gone. Sorry. It's gone. Did you see Costa save all those pens? The commentator said nobody can beat Costa apart from every Arsenal player. You know. Start Spag Bowl, bench Alfredo, sell lasagna. Yeah, Carter knows. Lost all respect for you. How can you lose respect for me for that? That's factual information that is the correct order. Lasagna's a confirmed starter? Nah, lasagna's overrated. Lasagna is overrated. 100%. 100%. You can't sell lasagna? I just did. It is gone. Which player are you most looking forward to this season? For me, it's Martinelli. Difficult to say when we haven't had the transfer window, or the transfer window hasn't shut. Part of me is really looking forward to seeing Kai Havertz continuing. If he can continue on the momentum and the improvement that we were seeing in him. I want to see that from Havertz. Ødegaard, again, like, the more freedom I think we can give Ødegaard by building out the midfield. Like, if we have that back four that we mentioned of White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, with Rice and Kimmich in front, mate, the amount of freedom that Martin Ødegaard will have at that point will be filthy. Will be absolutely filthy. He's had a whole summer off as well, so he'll be fresh. Mr. Big Piece, thank you very, very much for the 199 super chat. He wanted Runarsson as well. Yeah, look, we've bought a lot of goalkeepers. We have actually bought a lot of goalkeepers. The Saka Renaissance as well. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But no, I mean, all of them. I'm looking forward to Martinelli again. You know, obviously, if we do bring in new signings, then everyone will be excited about seeing them. Want to see a fully fit game time given to Fabio Vieira? Possibly, if he's still here. Kimmich, Calafiori, Neto this summer would be an 8 out of 10. At Gyökeres, it's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the thing is, it's not actually out of our reach either, right? Calafiori, 50 million euros. So that's what, like 40 million quid. So 40 mil for Calafiori. Kimmich, probably 40 mil, something like that. So that's 80. If you can do Gyökeres for 80, that's 160. Neto for 50, that's 210. 210's doable. 210's doable, especially if we can nail some sales. So, what's the least amount of goals Arsenal have conceded in a season? 17. We can beat that this season. Yeah, 17 is the lowest. 15 is the lowest in Premier League history. That was Chelsea. 17 is the lowest we've ever done. Who's winning the Ballon d'Or? Jude Bellingham, I reckon. But there you go. That was all of the news, by the way. We've got through all of the news at this point. If Italy go on to win the Euros, do you still think Calafiori will be circa 50 million? I think they're gonna struggle to win the Euros at this point. Unfortunately. Vinny Ballon d'Or. It depends how Brazil do, to be fair. A lot of it depends on how England do and how Brazil do. A lot of it depends on how Brazil and England do. Who's most likely? Sane, Kimmich, Musiala. I want Musiala so bad. Kimmich is the most likely, in my opinion. Kimmich makes far more sense than anyone else. Everything about the Kimmich one makes sense, right? In terms of the profile we're looking for, the fact that he wants to leave and is free to leave, the fact that Arsenal have been cited as one of the teams that he was happy to go to, the fact that it's been kept completely silent, like no one has an idea who this is. For me, One way of keeping things secret is if you don't have an agent involved. Kimmich doesn't have an agent. It makes it a lot easier to keep it secret if there's no agent shopping their player around and saying to this person, well, Arsenal are interested in him, so you need to get it. Like, it's abnormal how secret we've managed to keep it, which again makes me think that it's Joshua Kimmich because he's got no agent. So, which midfielder do you want now that Douglas Luiz is not possible? I mean, I'll take Kimmich. It could be Mittelstadt. I mean, there's a lot of Germans, right? There are a lot of German players. It could be Mittelstadt, it could be Andrich, it could be Schlotterbeck, it could be Jonathan Tah. It could be, there's a lot of players it could be. I don't think, is Gnabry at the Euros? Is Gnabry at the Euros? It's someone at the Euros. So is Gnabry at the Euros? Because if he's not, it's not him. No, he's not. He's not. So yeah, I don't think it can be Gnabry. Swear Kimmich said he didn't even want Arsenal, saw something about he only wanted Man City. Better not be true. No, that's not true. That's not true. Kimmich wants either. There were 5 clubs that Kimmich was happy to go to. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona. They were the only 5 teams that he was happy to go to. Yeah, I'm also not sure that I actually want... I don't think I want Gnabry. I think he's too injury prone. I don't think I want him, really. Like, at times, he can be brilliant, but not enough. Not enough. Anyway, look, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. So get your fingers on your keyboards, because we are starting now. Clue number 1, this player is 32 years old. Clue number 1, this player is 32 years old. Clue number 2, they joined Arsenal in 2011. Clue number 2, they joined Arsenal in 2011. Clue number 3, they scored 4 goals in 40 games, despite being at the club for 7 years. They scored 4 goals in 40 games, despite being at the club for 7 years. Clue number 4, they moved to Frosinone in 2018. Clue number 4, they moved to Frosinone in 2018. And clue number 5, they made 142 appearances for Costa Rica. Clue number 5, they made 142 appearances for Costa Rica. Who is the player? People have been struggling with this one. People struggled with that one. There we go. The final clue. The final clue came in clutch. I'm gonna go back and double check that no one got it. Make sure I don't get VAR checked. But I don't think anyone got it. I don't think anyone got it until that final clue. Which is pretty impressive, I'd say. Pretty damn impressive, if you ask me. Where is it? Where are we looking? Here we go. The winner is... It's VV Vlad. VV Vlad is back on top. In fact, it's a VV Vlad Ross Lawman 1-2. VV Vlad pipping. Do you know what? Honestly, Ross, I reckon if you'd gone Joel instead of Campbell, you'd have won. VV Vlad pipped you to it because he went Joel and you went Campbell. Jim Bob was third with Joel Campbell. I mean, he could have even been there if he hadn't gone for the entire full name. Fred was fourth and James Bidder was fifth. But there we go. It's a VV Vlad dub. People are VARing. People are claiming VAR. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why is it VAR? Why is it VAR? No VAR? No VAR? A young, pacey, promising winger representing Germany right now. It has to be Bayern, no? Surprised nobody has mentioned his name. I mean, maybe. Maybe. It's okay, my screen lies. Nah, we're good. We're good. VAR. Goal given. VV Vlad. Check complete. Sensational. Sensational. I said Campbell, but meant Sol. Where do you think Martial ends up this summer? Same place David De Gea is at, I reckon. Genuinely, I'm not sure if anyone would bother paying Martial's wages. Like, genuinely. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. You have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks football community, but not as much respect as VV Vlad currently has. What's your Twitch? It's just Rory Talks Football. The link to it is down in the description. It is just Rory Talks Football, all one word. This player started their career at Real Betis. They started their career at Real Betis. They went to Elche on loan. So at Real Betis, they went to Elche on loan. They then went to Napoli permanently. They then went to PSG permanently. And that is all she wrote. Betis, Elche on loan, Napoli, and PSG. Wow, wee, wah. Wow, wee, wah. VV Vlad's done a dirty double. VV Vlad's hit us with a dirty double. It was Fabian Ruiz. And VV Vlad has done it. Second was Amar. Third was Pekka. Fourth was Sportcat. And fifth was James Bidder. But VV Vlad's done the dirty double. Oh, Vincent wants VAR. Vincent wants VAR. Oh my god. Vincent's actually... It's not a dirty double. It's not a dirty double. Vincent did it without a single clue, apparently. We had already started by that point because loads of other people were guessing other names. Unbelievable. Vincent. Sorry, Vlad. No dirty double for you today. That's incredible. Wow. Fair play. Vlad was already celebrating. I mean, how do you get... How was Fabian Ruiz the player that you guessed without any hints? That's insane. That is insane. VV Vlad meant Billy Joel. He should be disqualified. I don't think he played for us. I credit VV Vlad with enough ball knowledge. And I've already robbed him of a dirty double. I can't now rob him of the Guess the Gooner. That would be outrageous. Just like the English refs at the Euros ruining the game. By the way, you know the English refs are doing both of the games on Friday. I don't know if you saw this. France against Portugal is Anthony Taylor, or I can't remember which way around it is, but basically, France against Portugal, Spain against Germany, Anthony Taylor's refereeing one of them, and Michael Oliver is refereeing the other. That is outrageous. Bro is kind of cooking this Euros. Yeah, Fabian Ruiz has been quality this Euros. Really, really good. Roma, Basel, Bologna, Arsenal. Guess the Gooner soon. We will be there. Taylor's the Spain one. There you go. Taylor is Germany, Spain. Michael Oliver is France, Portugal. Outrageous. I know you don't follow Copa America like the Euros, but did you see the ref for USA v Uruguay? I did. The referee in USA against Uruguay, I mean, at the end, he refused to even shake Pulisic's hand, but it was just like, yeah, he was awful. The offside, there was like I think it should have been a corner, and it's just a disgrace. It was awful. Look, anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream. I massively appreciate all of you for joining, as always. If you could like the stream before you jump off, subscribe if you're new. I'll be live from about 10:15, trying to play Minecraft on hardcore mode. The link to that is down in the description. If you're not there, I will see you all tomorrow. We'll be back with another YouTube stream. But until then, have a fantastic evening and goodbye.